Yo, what's good fam? It's your boys, Nairobi Car Journey, back with another banger. And this time, we're rolling in style with this German machine. This, my friends, is not your average Mamamboga's ride. This is a BMW 320i e46, the kind that makes your crush slide into your DMs faster than a politician switches parties. And now before you start thinking I've sold a kidney or one spot pesa, relax. We're just here to appreciate this beauty and maybe, just maybe, learn a thing or two about this legendary Bimmer. But first, let's be real. Driving in Kenya is an extreme sport. You gotta dodge potholes the size of Lake Victoria, overtake matatus driven by wannabe Formula One drivers, and avoid those doodhy guys who appear out of nothing like ninjas. But with this 320i, you'll be gliding through the chaos like a boss. So buckle up, grab some nyamachama and a cold soda, and let's dive into the world of this iconic Bimmer. So yes, this is the 2003 BMW E46 318i. It's a really cool car, but it's an old car, so as you can see, it has a couple of flaws. One, I'm very confused. Was this always here like this? The bump of the car, has it always been showing the thing for opening the bonnet? I find it quite strange. Towing which is missing, and these two fog lamps, they look ridiculous. Like, I'm not trying to say anything, but they lost a lot of practicality, and I understand that the fog lamps are primarily for near vision, seeing things more closer to you than the actual headlamps, but it looks kind of goofy if you ask me. Aside from that, the stature of the car is actually pretty nice. So moving along to the side, I wanted to show you this. So this car, being old, has a nice little water dispenser over here, which is a bit depressing because as soon as I took the car, that headlamp stopped working, or rather that signal thing. And another thing, this car needs more rim. It has too much tire. I don't know what size of rims these are, but they need bigger rims. Anyway, the car being the M3 means it's more compact, it's more small. It's a sporty little nimble gremlin of fun. But again, because of that loss of practicality, I don't know. I personally like it, or at least I've slowly been liking it, and it doesn't make sense as to why. There's no real reason as to why I should be liking it. But oh well, you have this random black piece of trim here. I don't know why. I just decided to add it, and some creases along the door. There's nothing too special about the side mirrors. However, when you are driving, they do tend to rattle and shake for some weird reason. Don't exactly know why, but they do. And again, moving along to the back, this is too far down. Like, I don't know. The first time I was taking this car to fuel it, I was like, this car is for fun-sized people. That's what we call the vertically challenged in this show. But it's okay. It's okay. We all love you. And finally, the back. Well, the BMW logo has faded. Still, same type of car. Beautiful exterior. Yeah, nothing too much. The car was simple at its time. And speaking of simple things, to the engine. So now this car is powered by the N42 engine, which means it has a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that puts out a whopping 143 horsepower with 200 newton meters of torque and weighs about 1,400 kilos. So hypothetically, 0 to 100 in its prime time was 10 seconds flat. Now I'm not gonna do a 0 to 100 on this one, no a launch, because of it's an old car. Really don't want to be pushing it, but it's fun, it's nimble, and as you see in the drive, I really like the car. Like, there's a reason, I don't know, it's just a very fascinating car. It's not that powerful, feels very underpowered, but it feels more playful and feels more exhilaratingly focused on the driver than that W210. Now this is where I would tell Adrian to do it, but you know, again, it's just me and the floating camera. Hey, the interior. Okay, so for the interior, now usually we start with the door closed, but I want to show you guys something. A little jump scare whenever you enter the car. I mean, again, it's an old car, so can't really fault it. And I can't really say it came like that. So yeah, can't really complain. But you do get some soft, like, You do get some soft like material up top here, although it's worn out, so it tends to wear out quite quickly, but oh well, can't do too much about it. Aside from that though, I'm just gonna hold it because I'm gonna lose my sanity if it keeps falling. And it has gum. Okay, we recently got it anyway. This on the part. Soft speaker is here, and the speakers on this. Okay, the amp is primarily in the back, but there's not a lot of liveliness in front. I don't know why. Maybe it's the speakers that are old and worn out, but oh well. Steering wheel. Now there are versions of this steering wheel that do come with the button controls here. However, this one seems to have not. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. Now when it comes to controlling the seat movements, they're all controlled from here. Whether you want to move your seat forward or back or this. Oh my god, I almost slammed my face. They're all controlled by those items. Again, trying to make the car lighter because it's supposed to feel more sporty, you know, as it should. The seats themselves very breathable and very comfortable, but they hug you and you sit, or you feel like you sit quite lower than the dash. Like I had to pump up the seat quite high because I like sitting like this. I like sitting like I'm looking on top of people. But being in this car, you feel like you're shorter than everyone because of, you know, it's a rather small car. That's what's fun about it. Practicality wise, please, God, someone explain this. Very usable cup holder. You want me to drive like this? You want me to drive like this? Oh. Aside from that, there are no cup holders in the door wells, which is a bit frustrating. But again, you have like an ample sized glove box in there. Can't really complain. And here in the infotainment, you have your hazard lights down here and the locks. Now, this was a very awkward place because I feel as if an emergency is occurring as a driver, you want like a quick like, you know, tap it in front, not like, you know. Again, it's just me being me. Your window controls are down here, so similar to that W210. I don't know if it was just a trend to be like, let's share the window controls, yeah, but you know, seems to be the case. I like the AC on this system actually a bit more than on the W210. And why I keep comparing it with that one is because this was somewhat the competitor, because this ran between 1997 to a year that I can't remember. But yeah. Aside from that, you have your gauge cluster over here. There's not too much happening. You do get alerts whenever something goes or fails. So in this case, the front right signal light, it's out. It indicates and it shows you, which I find quite fascinating. It also shows you your speed, of course, fuel consumption, which is kind of rare for this type of car. And I find that quite cool. You know, other buttons over here, it shows your sports mode. Yeah, nothing much is happening there. You'd think that this also has a bit more space. No, you can't put your phone there. I just remembered and I was staring at it in disapproval because I can't put my phone there. The rear, you can actually see quite a lot through this mirror, and I'm very glad because, you know, that other X4 that I was in was absolutely horrendous. So BMW, you have already redeemed yourselves with me. And you have this classic old school type sun visor. I'm not popping it out because I'm worried I'll pop out the whole thing. Moving on to the back of the car, please. So ironically, the back of this car is more passenger centric. One, I can actually put my phone down somewhere, which feels a bit off, but no freaking chair bags. I am sad. But oh well, what can you do? Also no door bins. You do have a cup holder here in the middle, but I'm kind of scared of disassembling it because if it tends to fall. And I lied, there's no cup holder. They were all lies. Those are all lies. Sitting in the back itself isn't bad. You get decent knee room, a good amount of headroom, ironically enough, and you can stretch your legs quite far, although your thighs aren't being supported, so I guess you would get tired. And if you try to sit here in the middle, yeah, the back is quite firm. The chair itself down here is quite squishy, squishy, but you're standing like a policeman, like a soldier. Also, I want to just point out, I really like how the lights are here on the side. Most car manufacturers tend to just put one giant one up here, but no, BMW is different. Speaking of different things, I don't really like the way the boot looks, so let's move back there. So for the boot, actually I want to point out one thing. You can open it from the front. It won't open, or rather you'll unlock it for someone, but kind of dense if you don't flow with it, but it closes quite well on its own. It's not a bad move. In terms of actually loading things in, it's gonna be very difficult because of very small space to use. However, a very practical boot nonetheless, because unlike that W210, you can actually fold the seats, but yet kind of stretch in to fold the seats, meaning that it has even more space. And it's quite weird to think that, and also this load lip over here, you can actually carry things up nicely. You know, it allows you to drag them up, and it kind of lets you slide something down without scratching the bodywork. And this isn't extended too much, so you're not too worried about hitting it on its way in. Yeah, I think now it's time for the drive. I'm getting tired of talking. So for the drive, the car one, its engine is kind of old, so it shakes a lot. It's like it's waking up. And even in drive, the whole time everything's vibrating, but still really cool, I guess. It has Bluetooth, ironically enough. It's like, as I showed in the review, although it's still aftermarket. But anyway, let's go. So, in terms of driving, aside from a ridiculous amount of idling, and as the title suggests, I don't know why I want this to be my first car. It just feels competent. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's just a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and its engine in. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't know. Maybe this is what people keep, especially those guys who are in that BMW cult, refer to as, I don't know, the ultimate driving machine. Because it feels competent in corners. From the second I got into the car, it felt natural driving it. I didn't have to like think, oh, maybe the brake is going to be sharper, or it's not gonna be sharp enough. No, it felt natural entering the car. The only issue I would have, and this is just because of service, is that steering is not currently aligned. So instead of me driving like with the steering perfectly straight like this, I'm driving with it like this, and that's not a great sign. But again, that can easily be fixed. Also, it makes a weird noise when you start it. It sounds like a spring somewhere in here, especially where the light switch is. It goes like blowing, or whatever noises springs make. But okay, sorry, we're driving. Focusing on the drive. On bumps, it is not harsh at all. You know, especially rubber strips. When you go over rubber strips and regular bumps, it dampens that jolt enough and sends you back up quickly without feeling like, I don't know, okay, let's just say this. On some cars, it feels like you stepped on a Lego and you're in pain. That's how your back feels. This is not one of them, and I would think it would be one of them because it's an older car and its suspension system isn't that complicated whatsoever. And even the engine, for an old one, I don't know, it's just, there's something fun about just flooring it. Even though it takes forever to actually go, you know, get to 100, like now we're at 100. And it's built for coasting. It doesn't seem to care about drag. Like, I can let go of the throttle entirely and I'll cruise along the motorway. And it doesn't make sense because, one, this car doesn't have cruise, although pretty sure there were some models that did come with cruise, and it's just this particular one because it also doesn't have the steering wheel that has the controls for the radio. I don't really want to call it an infotainment system because let's be honest, back then all that it had was a radio and probably a DVD player, CD player rather. Sorry for my English. Lots of road noise, but not up here at the columns. It's in the wheel wells. Very little road noise up here. I feel like I could have a normal conversation with someone, and I'm not yelling like in that W210. Link here to go and watch that, by the way. if we had the 3. But that's not the point. We're driving a BMW. And it's just fun. It's not fast. I can tell it's not in its prime whatsoever. But it's just exhilarating to send it into a corner. I feel like I can send it into a corner much more faster than I would send that W212. And that's saying something. This guy is from 03. I'm not saying that one is new, that one's from 09 still. This guy is like 11 years old. 11 years old. And it doesn't feel like it's lost its charm. It feels race, it feels sporty. I feel like I'm in a cockpit with everything staring and the whole cockpit turned towards me. And it just makes for a phenomenal drive, and even fuel consumption wise it's not half bad. Okay, although I haven't reset it from the time I got this car. I averaged 8.4 kilometers per liter. I know it sounds like it's not that good, especially compared to that Tiguan that was like averaging 10.4, 12. But when you put into consideration how old this car is, you start to be like, okay, that's not bad whatsoever. That is not bad whatsoever. Another issue I see with this car though is the electronics. I believe, I don't know if they tend to fail, but as soon as I got it, the signal light was like, the front right signal light was like, okay, bye now. It doesn't work. The rear works, but the front doesn't work. But I do find it cool that on the gauge cluster system, speedometer, you can actually see what light isn't working because it shows an error. And it's just, I don't know, it's a phenomenal car. It talks to the driver, and you have to sync yourself with the car. We know with other types of cars, especially those Benzes, they feel like they're like in tune with you. They're like, oh, of course you want to go fast, press this. This one, if you want it to go fast, you have to be like, yo, I want to go fast, and it's like, I want to go fast, and it's like, yeah, I want to go fast, and it's like, okay, I'll go fast. Like, you have to somewhat sync up with it and understand. I don't know, it just like, let me float it. Also, there's a weird like there's some like rocks in the engine or something that's being kicked, but it's not the point. I'm slowly understanding, especially after driving that other BMW, the X4, why people really like BMWs. And with this car being compact and small because it's a 3 Series, it just feels perfect, perfectly sized. And there you have it. We've reached the end of our journey with the BMW 320i e46. And let me just say this car is a true gem, a nimble, it's stylish, and it's got the power to handle the Kenyan roads like a boss. Remember those potholes we talked about? Well, this Bimmer laughs at them. It's got suspension that can smooth out even the roughest of terrains. And let's not even talk about this car's handling. This car corners like it's on rails, even on those winding Kenyan roads. But it's not just about the performance. The 320i is also a comfortable and stylish ride. It's the perfect car for cruising around town, showing off to your friends, and making your crush swoon. So there you have it, folks. The BMW 320i e46, a true Kenyan survivor. If you're looking for a car that can handle it all, both on and off the road, well, this is the one for you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more car content. See you next time.